Okay, let me start then. So, any idea on how does the physical inventory works and other things, guys? Anyone?
Usually, physical inventory is used to count the stock physically because there will be always discrepancy of stock from inventory and SAP level. So this is one
Hmm.
of the concept wherein which will remove the discrepancies in the bins and as well as like SAP level.
Okay, so normally it is to check the quantity, whatever you are having. I mean, like the book quantity versus the physical quantity, basically, right?
Yes.
Right. So what is happening here now, basically, we are trying to do the physical inventory in multiple ways actually. Why? Because in EWM also, it is of the same process. There is nothing bit strange. Okay, but ideally the process wise, whatever we are trying to do here, it is of a different one. Why? Because we will be trying to create a physical inventory document, and then we will be creating it and activating it and then counting it, and then basically after you count you will post the inventory. So it's all normally and more or less the same, the concept wise, but as being we are having two different systems, one is an ECC, another one is an EWM system. There is one other extra set of transaction, one is about your adjustment of your quantity. So what will happen here? So when we are talking about this particular physical inventory process, whatever we see here, okay, this particular physical inventory, we have a multiple procedures actually. Okay, so what are the procedures we are going to check here? Okay, that is one thing. Okay, and top of it, we all know that once we have this particular one, EWM supports multiple types of physical inventory. Okay, one is your periodic physical inventory, continuous physical inventory, and cycle counting. So we know what is a cycle counting. Based upon the indicators, we know that we will be giving an ABC indicators ideally. You're getting my point? Hello?
Okay. Got it.
Means, yeah, because we will be having high value items in your warehouse where you would want to check that on every month or every day or in every week, depending upon your business requirement. So for that particular materials, what we try to do is we will try to give the indicators, ABC indicators for that, basically. You're getting my point?
Yes. So it's a master data, like how it
It's
is
a
the
kind of
idea.
a master data only, right? Again.
Hmm. Okay.
It's ideally a master data only, which we will try to do it.
Got
So
it.
that is, yeah, that is another process basically. So in the physical inventory process, first thing we need to understand is what is the steps we are going to do, whether it is a cycle counting or a periodic one or whatever it is. The first thing is we will try to create the PA document. Okay, that's the first thing. And the second thing, what we are trying to do here, we are trying to, okay, means we have an option of making the document as an active and an inactive, whatever it is. So once we start making it as an active or an inactive here, okay, the third one, what we try to do is we will have the, okay, once we've made it as an active or active, we'll have the status in the counted one. Okay, means we'll have, okay, we'll create it and we'll make it as an active and then we'll start counting it. And the fourth one, what we try to do is we will try to post the document. Okay, why we'll post? Because once we started counting it, we will try to post it basically. Agree? Hello? What do
Yes.
you mean?
Yes.
What I mean by post in the sense, posting of, let's assume that. We have an quantity of somewhere around 100, and we have counted it somewhere around 95, means the physical quantity is 95, and we are posting that quantity. So there is some actual versus a book quantity. That is the one. So normally, sorry, go ahead.
Uh, do we have, I mean, the discrepancy of five? So what will be
Hmm.
happening for that five quantity?
That
Do we
is what I,
accommodate anywhere?
yes, that's what. So basically what happens is, once we try to have this particular one, actually means what I mean to say, that's the post. Once we post this particular document, this posting one will automatically will update it in the EWM system. Okay. The posting, I mean the differences of the five quantity, basically. Getting my
Okay.
point?
Oh,
Once
okay.
this, yeah, then what happens here is we have another set of transaction which we will call it as a difference analyzer. Okay. Uh, okay. So what happens here? This is a transaction where it goes back. I mean, like we'll go to this transaction basically, and we will update it or we will post it back to the ERP system. Okay. So once we get into this transaction and once we post it down here, this goes back to ERP and it updates the difference quantity with 711 or 712 movement type in the ERP system. Getting it, guys, now? What I'm trying to say?
Okay.
Yeah.
What is
Hmm.
the description of 711?
That's for the physical inventory adjustments, right? The movement type.
Okay. The
Yeah.
description will be like physical inventory movement type.
Yeah,
Okay.
the physical inventory one, whether it is a stock adjustments with 711 or 712, with the plus or minus, we'll be
Okay.
getting these stock postings. Getting it?
Okay. And I mean,
Hmm.
sorry to cut you.
Hmm.
711, whatever you said that it will be posted, right? So
Hmm.
yes, usually we will make it as a scrap item or something like that,
Why do we
or
make it as a scrap? No, right? That's a quantity adjustment. We are not scrapping it here, right? We are only
but
adjusting the
we
quantity
should
here.
need what we should have accounting of where that five quantity has been gone, right?
That is what the stock discrepancy, right? 711 tells you about the stock discrepancy only. So adjusting of the quantity here. Scrap is of almost a different quantity where you'll having a physical quantity and that you will be scrapping it. But in this case, you don't even have that five quantity. It's lost in the warehouse. So what are you gonna do then? How are you gonna
But
scrap if there is no? Hmm.
okay, but whatever the quantity five, right? That
Hmm.
has to be again accounted right into. I mean, what do I say? With the value of the
That is
material has to be accounted right at some point level. It has to be accounted in the financial levels, right?
That is
Whether
what
it
we
is
are using
loss.
711, right? Why do we want to have a scrapping there? Scrapping is all over a different process again. We will not use a
Mhm.
scrapping here, right?
Okay, okay. So, what would be? I mean, I don't know whether you know this.
Mm.
What would be the material and accounting document generated for this 711?
Accounting, I'm not sure. That's all finance related one, right? So I don't
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
remember.
We
Mm.
basically, I am our level of start. I mean, our levels start from there, SD, right? So
Mm.
COGS account and inventory account will be generated, right? So I am
Mm.
more curious about
No,
COGS
no,
account. How
I
to.
was not because I ideally once we finish our activities in the EWM side, I'll not bother whatever it happens there.
Okay, okay, fine, fine.
Mm.
Got it.
Okay, so that is what a general problem. Okay,
Okay, Sriram.
any other questions now?
So far, nothing.
All right then. So normally, okay, these particular procedures, what we okay, in again, in this particular physical inventory process, what happens? We have a different set of procedures again. Why? Because in the EWM system, we have storage bin specific and product specific. Okay, as I said that this is an annual physical inventory, and the cycle counting ad hoc physical inventory, and the storage. So there are multiple procedures again in the EWM system. We will talk about the multiple procedures such as, okay, AL, okay, which is our annual physical inventory. Okay, these are the procedures what we are trying to have it in our warehouses, basically AL, and then AS, which is a AS is for, I don't remember what is this man. AL is for annual inventory for the bin specific, and this is for the product specific. Okay, I'll just, even I always forget this. This is of annual, which is of the storage bin specific, guys. Okay, so this particular one thing again, whenever we are trying to have this particular, what I mean to say that is annual or an, oh sorry, storage bin, or again the store product specific, what does that mean? Can anyone tell me?
Annual storage bin.
No, no, not about annual. Physical inventory is being happening at a storage bin specific or even at the product specific. So what is the difference between both the things basically? So
Bin in
what
the
can
sense, whole, yeah.
Mhm.
Uh, in a bin, we can have multiple products or a single product. So depending upon our business
Exactly,
scenario,
exactly. So what happens here is bin in the sense it's always about a single product, or it could be a multiple products, or it could be a handling unit, or it could be also a product also. But when it comes to a product, irrespective, oh, sorry, that is what we have storage bin. Sorry, if it is at a product level, what happens? It could be in a multiple bins. Agree, it could be in a multiple storage types. So whenever we are trying to perform this particular physical inventory one, we need to make sure that what physical inventory procedure we are trying to have it, whether it is a product specific or whether if it is a bin specific. Okay, so most of the cases what we do is we will all in the real time, what happens is we will try to have cycle counting, or we will try to have HL. Okay, always remember L is for the storage bin specific, because L is bin specific, L is 01, because I always remember it that way. And we have another one also, HS, that is for your product specific. Okay, this is for the ad hoc. Getting it point? Getting my point? Hello? Sorry, I lost the connection. Hello?
yeah, you couldn't hear me. Hello.
I can. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Sri, whatever you, as per your there will be multiple procedures in which
Hmm.
L will stands for I mean storage bin level, but H stands for product specific.
Yes, because normally the transaction codes for our storage bin is what? LS01, right? Normally.
LS0. Huh.
So I remember in such a way that, okay, L means it's a bin specific. Okay. S in the sense
Sure.
it's a, what do you call it, as in product specific. That's it. Because that's an certification questions again for us. Coming into the picture, what is AL and AS, which is an annual storage bin specific and product specific. HL and HS, which is an ad hoc product specific and bin specific. Sorry, product specific and as well as the bin specific, right? Okay,
Yeah, sure.
and then we have a CC, which is for the cycle counting. So these are the procedures which we will be using it in the EWM system. Okay,
Oh, okay.
ideally any of the procedure you use, the process is the same. First is we'll create a physical inventory document, and most of the cases what happens is, in some of the cases what I have seen is they doesn't want to have the document to be activated immediately, so it would be in an inactive status. Then we will make the document as an active. Once we make the document as an active, we will start counting the document. Once we start counting the document, what happens? We will post that particular difference. Okay, because as soon as we count the document, we will count that particular product or whatever, and then we will post it. Once we post it, it goes to the EWM system and it gets updated back with the difference. And sorry, it gets updated first in the EWM system itself. Then what happens? The difference is whatever we have it in the EWM system, we have another transaction called as a WM underscore adjust. That's for the automatic adjustments. If not, there is another transaction called as difference analyzer, where we go there and we update it with the post transactions. You're getting my point?
Yes, yes. I
So
am with you.
yeah, this is what the physical process, whatever we do in the system wise. I mean, like we're coming to the configuration front end, we have configurations also, which we have to do that. But ideally, the procedure wise, these are the procedures, and this is what the process, what we follow in the physical inventory one. Okay. So it's only about finding about the book inventory versus the actual inventory. That's it. Okay. A normal thing coming into the picture. Clear? The OE of the
Yes.
physical inventory.
Okay. One question over here.
Mm-mm.
So, cycle count in the sense, is there any difference in process or like in the same?
Process wise, there is no difference. That's what I said. Whatever the procedure you use, there is no difference in that. The only difference is for the cycle counting process, what happens? We will select the set of materials which has to fall under the cycle counting. So let's assume that you have somewhere around 5,000 materials, well, normally 500 materials. In that 500 materials, okay, the most high value materials, you will have some set of, like suppose what you say, that is you'll have a costly like engine parts. Maybe let's example, in my business we'll have the engines which are the most costly ones basically, and
Mhm.
usually we will call them as a top parts. Basically, why? Because engine is the most costliest item for us basically. So
Okay.
what we do is, normally, as being that is a very big product, we will not suggest, because we can physically see, like we knew that okay, that is physically. But in some businesses, what happens is, maybe an example, if I go back to my one of my client where mm, we implemented this for the Apple. So let's assume that for Mac, for Apple Mac, what happens
Mm-hmm.
is we done the cycle counting for that product. Why? Because that's a costly item actually for us. Because on other phones and the iPads and all, where we can have it on a weekly basis. But for this MacBooks, what did we do is we used to have it on a daily basis. Okay,
Okay.
as being it is a high value item. So what did we
Okay.
do there? We have only indicators given in the product master telling that ABC indicators. What is that ABC in the sense? That comes into the picture that, okay, A stands for on every 10 days, maybe, or every 1 day. Okay, I'll count it. Okay, and the B
Mhm.
indicator means every 7 days I'll count it. Okay,
Okay.
C is an indicator where I'll count it for every 15 days. Okay, such
Mm-hmm.
that what happens is, in the background system, automatically we have a program for that. Automatically it creates the cycle counting documents. Okay, once it creates the cycle counting documents, again it's the same process again. Physical inventory document gets created, counted. The only thing is the procedure gets changed here. That's it.
Okay. Got it.
Okay, it's only assigning the product value to the product master. That's it, nothing else apart from that. Okay,
Okay. Got it.
any other questions now?
Nothing so far.
Okay, perfect. This is what we'll be seeing in the physical inventory procedures normally, guess. Okay, apart from that, we will not see anything here. Okay, now coming to this configuration wise, we usually, this configuration is a bit different to the normal configurations what we see in the inventory procedures, basically in the WM or in the MM. Okay, what happens here is, first thing, we will try to create a physical inventory area. First thing, okay. Why? Because whatever the storage types, basically, this is also one thing. In some businesses, what I have seen is, we will not create the physical inventories for all the storage types. Only for some of the storage types, only these guys will implement. I don't know why else will. So that's fine. But when we are trying to do the physical inventories, what happens here is, First thing, we know that we have a multiple storage types. If you want to implement this physical inventory for all the storage types, we will create one physical inventory area. And that is a kind of an hierarchy for us, where we will tell to the system that in that particular physical inventory area, I mean, for suppose you have 5 storage types. Out of the 5 storage types, maybe 3 storage types you have created one physical inventory area. For the other 2 storage types, you have created another physical inventory area. So why? Because you want to have the cycle counting for the second physical inventory area, such that you will tell to the system that what are the procedures that you are trying to allow in the system. You're getting my point? For the physical inventory area. So we will assign this to your activity areas, and we will assign this to this, and we will do that. That is what we usually do it, guys. You getting my point?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Mm. Yeah.
Any questions now? So that is what the physical inventory procedures, what we do it in the EWM system, guys. Okay. Probably this is one thing we have. Oops. Ah, sorry. Yeah. So let me get into the system wise now. God. Extended warehouse management, cross settings. Where is this one? I forgot this. Where is this man? Internal. Sorry. Hmm. Internal physical inventory. Okay. Warehouse number specific settings. Assign physical inventory area to the activity area, the very first thing is. But before we do that, we should know what storage types we had and what are the products that we are trying to do, basically, because we should understand like where we are doing and for what we are doing, right? So ours is WM46. Hello. You see this, the products, whatever we have, we are trying to have it at the storage type level, which is at the DS7 at the high. So what we will try to do is first, we will take one of the storage type here. Okay, Karthik? Okay, what we are trying to do here, we will try to have, okay, for the high rack one, maybe. Hello?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So
Okay.
first thing, what are we trying to do is we are trying to have this for the high rack storage type, the very first thing. So what is this high rack? With that's a kind of a storage type. So the very first thing, okay, first we will try to define one physical inventory area. Okay, let us take one physical inventory area. Okay, I'll put it as 46 WM. Okay, yeah. Now, in this particular physical inventory area, I was talking about the document types and the procedures, if you remember, right? These are the procedures. You see, HS, HL, AS, AL. Hello?
Okay.
Yes, even
So,
I've never used till date, guys. I've never saw people using it, external procedures and all. I've never saw it using also. Most of the cases we will be using HS and HL or CC. These are the three procedures are mostly used in any of the projects. But ESEL till date, even I've never used it. I've never saw people using it also. Okay,
so
so these are all the sorry, Karthik.
no, nothing. I'm just saying, yeah, it's okay.
Mm. So NL is a low stock check which will be performed at the time of your put away. I also rarely saw this using it. Okay, put away physical inventory and storage bin specific. Fine. But Easy. Okay, so out of this we will try to cover, okay, HL, HS. HL and HS, anything, both are same. Whether if it is a product or bin specific, whatever you want to go, and we will see the cycle counting. These three procedures we will cover. Okay. So, however, I've copied all the procedures to my physical inventory area. That's one thing. Now, once we create this physical inventory area, there is a few things which we have to understand here. You see that you have something called as a postage after the count, display quantity. Okay, remember these two options, guys. Okay, and what is this one here? There's another one I want to see. What is this? 1 second. Quantity. This is for the low stock check, not for us actually. Okay, what we are trying to do here is, okay, remember these two fields. I'll come back and I'll explain you. Postage after the count and display quantity. Remember these two fields, okay?
O-
So
Okay.
we have used this. Now, warehouse number specific settings. First thing, we have to assign physical inventory area to the activity area. What is our physical inventory area now? 46 WM. But the same way, we also knew what is an activity area by now, right? And this activity area, we will be assigning this to the storage type, basically, right? But we
Yes.
didn't create any activity areas or anything, because now the activity area and the activity would be invent, sorry, what is this, the, what I mean to say, this one, right? Physical inventory one, basically, right?
Yes.
So first thing is, let me define one activity area for this. Okay, it's okay, we'll create one now. So this activity area, whatever we are trying to do now, I'll put it as ZINV, maybe. Okay, this is for the physical inventory. Yeah? Okay. For the storage type of high. Okay. Well, let's do it. It's already having a NV1. Okay. First thing. Now, once we assign the storage bins to the activity area, what will happen here now? Bit slow here. What is my activity area now? It's INV1. Okay. And what is my storage type for this? The storage type is high, right? This is what the activity area. Now, INV1 and high. Okay. Define sort sequence for the activity area. System is having a lot of data in this particular nodes here.
People people are practicing very hard, I guess.
That's what it's taking so much of time for these nodes. Mhm. My God. Will it open today?
Is it working or?
That's what even I was looking. It's taking a lot of time. Oh my God. Oh, finally. So, my activity area is INV1, guys. Okay. And INVE. And my storage type is high. Okay. This is my storage type. First thing. So what I am trying to do here, I'm trying to assign this, and we have already assigned an activity. So normally what we do here, we have a something called as an SBST transaction, SEWM slash SBST. What is this for? This is used for the sorting. Now what is my activity area? Now INV1, okay, and my activity is INVE.
INV.
Yeah,
So
so I'll
the
tell
INV is
me.
a standard one, right?
That's a standard one that we can't change it. No, those are the physical
Okay.
inventory standard activities. Right? Put away, pick, internal,
Yeah.
REPL. These are all the standard activities where we can't change. Sorry,
Okay.
did I created sorting? Yeah, sorting was created successfully. Okay, that is one thing. Fine. Now, what are we trying to do here is basically um, okay, let's come back to our normal configuration for the physical inventory one. Now, the very first thing I have to tell you that for any of this particular physical inventory one, we will be having some certain set of documents basically, right? Means what I mean to say that, what is this internal process, physical inventory, okay, warehouse number specific settings, okay, define number range for the physical inventory documents, which we already didn't see that, I guess, right? First thing, number ranges, right? So WM46, do we have some number ranges? We do have 2019. This is what we want. Okay, fine then, 02. But did we assign this somewhere? Yeah, I'll check this, okay? Assign physical inventory to the activity area. Now, first thing, what is my warehouse here? WM46. What is my activity area? 46 WM, sorry, INV1, right? And my physical
Yes.
inventory area, what is that? That is 46 WM, right? That's what I said. So we will create one physical inventory areas, and that particular physical inventory areas, we will assign it to the activity areas. You're getting my point?
Okay.
You understand? Because the procedures like AL, AS, HL, HS, CC, and all, we have assigned to the physical inventory area. That particular physical inventory area we have assigned to an activity area, where the activity area is assigned to the storage type and where the bins will be having it. You getting my point now?
Sri, can you
Hmm.
repeat the same? Yeah,
No, no.
we
Physical
understood
inventory.
it, but I want to.
Physical inventory area is a place where we have our configuration settings, such as what procedures you want to add, like what cycle counting or physical, sorry, cycle counting, or whether it could be your disk bin. What do you say that is storage bin specific, or whatever it is. The procedures, whatever we saw just now, right? HL, HS, AL, AS, and all. However,
Okay.
this physical inventory area we cannot assign directly to our storage types. We don't have that privilege. We have only the privilege of assigning this to your activity area. So activity area is the INV1, where this INV1 is assigned to our storage types, right? With the hierarchy one. Agree?
Yes.
That is what the config we have done here. Okay.
Okay. Got it.
Hmm. So that is one thing. Now define number ranges. Now specify physical inventory settings. So make sure that what is the for WM46 for us. Okay, I want to make sure number range is 0 to, yeah, that is there. Okay, because we want to create the documents, right? That is one thing. However, once we have created this, we have something called as a tolerance groups. What is the significance of having this tolerance groups? Any idea to anyone?
Tolerance in the sense like what is the maximum discrepancy which can be allowed?
Tolerance in the sense, what is the maximum values that a users can post, basically. Okay, by the,
Okay.
because you see that we have three different nodes here. One is about your difference analyzer, means each and every set of transaction will be posted by a different persons, basically. You're getting my point?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So each set of transactions should have an authorizations to another people, every people, right? Now for the difference analyzer, how much of the value you're trying to post, and for the posting differences, how much of the value you are posting, and for the tolerance groups, how much of the value you're trying to post. This is what you're trying to do here. You understood? Means
Yes.
that each and every set of things, how much of the value we have the authorizations. Means, for example, see, for a warehouse worker, he might be having maybe to one, maybe somewhere around to 1% to 2%, okay, of the value posting, because maybe it is a high value ones, he can't post whatever the value you want, right? You understand? So maybe he can only post it to some extent. The supervisor will be having the authorization to some extent. Agree, normally.
Yes.
But when it comes to another users, they would be having more, the business users. So basically it all depends upon the, what do you say that, this one, the groups. So we will try to define that basically. Okay, so the very first thing is the tolerance groups for the difference analyzer. Okay,
Okay.
so I always create one, this, okay, we'll make use of this. So what I have done is, for me, there is no tolerance at all. So irrespective of whatever it is, I'll post my differences there. That's what I mean to say here. You're getting my point? Irrespective of whatever the things and all, I'll post it. If you see, there is a value here. You see, only for 100,000 or 10,000. Okay. So we can give you a value also, and then you can post that. You're getting my point? Hello?
Okay.
Yeah, that is one thing. In that difference tolerance group. Now, tolerance group for the posting the differences. The same way we have an option of this one also. Okay, posting the tolerance group. So even here also the same thing I've done. So allowed percentage, how much of the percentage you are trying to allow, and the value based tolerance and all we are trying to do here. Okay, that's what I did over here also. The same thing.
Okay.
The tolerance group for the recounting. If you see this. So you will be creating the tolerance groups, and we will be allowing the percentage levels for the recounting and for the posting the differences, and even for the what do you say this, for the difference analyzers. These are the ones basically. You're getting my point? Now, coming to this particular reasons and the priorities, so we have the reasons telling that whenever you are trying to count this particular physical inventory, or whenever you're trying to do, we will be having certain priorities, okay, high, medium, or low. So when we are talking about this high, medium, or low, we will tell to the system what is the significance of this, basically. Whether if it is in high, what would be that? If it is a medium, what would be that? Or if it is a low, what would be that? We will define. If it is a high one, basically, we'll define one high, medium, and low. This is only just the description of telling you the physical inventory procedures. What, whether it is a medium one or a high one. That's it. Okay. Reasons for the physical inventory one. Okay. WM46. Okay. This is what. So now, normally, what are the things we have it over here? Now you see this here means, see, for the cycle counting one, okay, if you want to priority put it as a high, okay, you can put that. That's where the thing comes into the picture. Hello.
Got it, got it.
Okay. So here, what happens here now? There is another field also here. Okay, you see this automated, and there is another one called as an active. Okay, so normally for the cycle counting, and for this is for the UPLD, means the standard one. Okay, whatever the reason we have kept this. Remember this active field also. I'll come back and I'll tell you what is happening here. Maybe today, no, tomorrow we'll run the whole scenario. This is one thing. Probably we have maintained everything, I guess. We have maintained everything pretty much. If I'm standard reasons. This is just a reason, basically. If you see unplanned physical inventory or the standard physical inventory, low stock checks, you see, you can define your own reason also, guys. That doesn't matter for us. But make sure that whatever the physical inventory procedures we are creating, we will be assigning the specific reason only for that. Okay. And top of it, the last set of configuration what we have is settings. Here we'll assign the tolerance groups for us. Physical inventory, yeah, tolerance group. Okay, so the tolerance group analyzer for me, it's Sri or Shrivan. I have difference analyzer would be Sri. Yeah, the same way for the counting and the recounting one, this is also one thing. Okay, so tolerance group posting would be this. Okay, this is the one which we have assigned. Apart from that, there is nothing much to have in the configuration. Physical inventory will not have it here. No one ways. That's it. Okay. So these are all the things, pretty much the configuration, what we have it in the system as of now, Karthik. So tomorrow, once we come back, we will try to run the scenario for the both bin specific and also for the cycle counting one. Okay. For both the
Uh,
procedures, we will do that. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. Please go ahead.
One question here.
Mm,
So now, if at all we made this this warehouse type and storage type as active for physical inventory, and
mm,
if at all we are not
mm,
going for weekly or something like that,
mm,
not automatic one, manual one. So
mm.
if this was the case, do we really definitely need to go for cycle counting? It's not mandatory,
Not
right?
mandatory. That's what. See, cycle counting is not a mandatory for us. It's a depends on your business only. We will do that. But that is
Yeah.
also one of the procedure for us. That's it. Okay.
Okay. What my intention is like, when,
Mm,
as you know, that these are all like configuration data and master data involved. So when
mm,
we, I mean, go for any scenario, we can
mm,
move this as a configuration changes, and it's up to business whether they want to
mm.
follow it or not. That's what.
Yes. 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 That's it.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
No problem. Okay. So tomorrow we'll come back and then we'll finish off this physical inventory process and all, and we'll see that. Okay.
Yeah, you asked us to remember two fields, right? So
What is it?
display uh, when you are configuring configuration.
So when we run the scenario tomorrow, you will understand it. Why I asked you to remember that? Okay. So
Okay,
tomorrow
fine,
I'll
fine.
explain you the significance of that. Okay.
Okay,
No
fine.
problem. Okay. Chalo. Bye bye. Catch you tomorrow.